Buon pomeriggio. Buon pomeriggio e benvenuti a tutti. Grazie per essere qui.
Good afternoon and welcome
Quella che stiamo
everyone.
vivendo, che è iniziata già da qualche minuto, è una cerimonia semplice.
Thank you for being here. The one we are experiencing is a simple ceremony, just as simple as the Scolastra family,
per festeggiare un percorso di
who are our
crescita,
hosts. It is an opportunity to be together, to have a party, to celebrate a growth path, and also to consider the central role of the businessman, of his collaborators, of the human resources, of the suppliers and of the customers. All together make Scolastra a great company. Let's have an applause.
Abbiamo due padroni di casa, per cui per aprire
We have two hosts this evening. That is why I am very happy to call the mayor of Potenza Picena, Noemi Tartabini, here next to me.
per un saluto, Sindaco.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm honored to be here. I greet our president of the Marche region. I greet the Scolastra family, all the collaborators, and all those who attended. I think I can also say on behalf of the outgoing and newly installed municipal administration that I'm proud to have such an important reality in our territory, which has 50 years of history, 50 years of professionalism, experience, farsightedness and seriousness. And speaking with the founder of this great company, we can also talk about courage, a company that tempted fate several times, that managed to overcome many obstacles and always looked forward. A company that really wanted to challenge fate and wanted to make this large family grow. It was possible also thanks to children's help, which is very precious, as he told me. And therefore I wish all the best so that this new company can grow more, and many compliments for all that has been obtained so far. The municipal administration wants to make a commitment to take care better of the industrial area of Potenza Picena, because unfortunately in the recent years we have not been able to dedicate the right attention that it deserves. Best wishes to all the family and all the collaborators. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor. The President of the Marche region, Francesco Acquaroli. Good afternoon, everyone. Greetings to the Mayor. Greetings to the Scolastra family, all the employees, friends. This is an important occasion because we are here for the inauguration. Inauguration means investments. It means having faith in your company, in the territory, believe in what you do, and this is always important. This is important especially in this particular time, which is a very complex time, a time with so many events happened that we couldn't imagine until a few years ago. We've been through the pandemic, the energy crisis, 2 wars. We always said one at the gate of Europe, one in the Mediterranean, which have also changed geopolitics a little, and which are causing a lot of discussion. So we are pleased to see today a serious family, as the Mayor said, that invests in the territory, invests in its business, and that through these investments creates employment and redistributes wealth. It is a great honor. We are working a lot for our small businesses. We are trying to invest a lot in innovation, research, development, and also trying to support them in access to credit procedure, which is one of the most important aspects of liquidity in our region. The other morning, the Bank of Italy stated that investment dropped significantly in the first half of 2023. When we talk about these numbers, we should also talk about what happened in those semesters where objectively the costs of energy rocketed. These are so many variables that you face fighting every day because you believe in our enterprise. So what I feel like saying is that we try to be at your side. We try to give the answers to all critical issues of our territory. We are trying also to put at your disposal all the European subsidies possible. We are also at your disposal for any suggestions or advice. Your contribution is important because 50 years of activity means 50 years of history that has to be considered. Thank you for what you've done. Thank you for what you're doing and for what you will do. Thank you. Thank you, President. When I studied a bit Scholastra company, I understood that the growth of the company was born and founded on some values. The first is the passion for work. The second, the ability to listen to the suppliers, to listen to the customers, to listen to the market, to listen to the internal collaborators. And the third is the quality in services. We don't grow by chance. We grow following the rules, which I call values. And the person who transmits these values is the founder of the president of Scholastra Company, Maurizio Sgolastra.
Sediamoci, Presidente.
Let's sit down, President. How it's going? Are you excited? How are you? Look, I believe that to talk about growth, to talk about Sgolastra, in my opinion, we need to go back a little. We need to go to the roots, because the roots are the ones that count. Meanwhile, I ask you how your passion was born. Why mechanics? How was your passion for mechanics born? So, I'll get straight to the point of the situation. The other evening, I was outside with my son. We look up and see the writing Sgolastra. So I make an exclamation and tell him, you see, it was worth learning how to become a turner. And from then, this reality began. I must confess that when I was 6, it seems as if it was yesterday, I went into a workshop where there was a lathe, a driller, a cutter, and an electric engine. At that time, and I'm talking about the Gattari workshop, Flavio, now I cannot remember the father's name and Guido's. At that time, practically, an electric engine kept going 3 cars. And in summer, I was wearing shorts, walking barefoot and trying to avoid that the iron waste hurt my feet. Since then, I started to see the first lathe, the first drill, the first grinding wheel, and then there was a period of time when I stayed out of mechanics because I went to school. And then, when you grow up, you don't have yet clear ideas of who you want to become. until I enrolled in the Professional Institute in Tolentino and learned the first concepts there. I began to deepen my desire, starting from there, from the school, that I began to perfect what I had in mind. I was working during the summer in a workshop in Macerata, which at the time was called Micozzi e Tiberi. And this evening we have here the wife. Unfortunately, Ivano is not here with his family and his children.
Non mi stancherò mai di ringraziare per quello che mi ha dato questa famiglia e quello che mi ha trasmesso sia dai valori e quello che mi ha trasmesso nel mestiere. Tanto che un giorno
I'll never stop thanking for all that this family gave for both values and from the professional point of view. It was like 1 year ago when Ivano came to see me, and I said to him, "Now come with me. I'll take you to the technical office where I will say out loud, this is the person who taught me my job." Since then, there was a significant moral recognition. Let's get back at the discussion. Once I partially learned the craft, I worked 3 years as a mechanical adjuster in the Montelupone paper mill. Since then, I began to think that if I am able to help the others, maybe I could do this for myself and one day also for my family. And the idea of starting a small own business was born. I just interrupt you for a moment. You spoke at the beginning about values. You went to college. Is it true that you went to college and met this man, Donnello? What values did Donnello transmit? Because nothing happens by chance. Special meetings happen. You first mentioned the meeting that shaped you from the technical point of view. But this man did it from a human point of view.
Io devo confessare che ero un ragazzo abbastanza vivace.
This man gave me the greatest values in life. I must confess that I was a boy, a quite nasty boy. He was able to make me appreciate both the culture and the values of life. He rebuked me often and gave me an inner strength that I think only few people are able to transfer to the others in the way Donnello Picena did.
Prego, fate. Presidente, le faccio vedere un oggetto.
Please, go on. President, I'll show you an object. What does it remind you of? And first of all, what this object is. This is my family. I prepared myself. This is an award that I received in 8th grade for being one of the best kids, always in San Severino, one of the best students. Once again, thanks to Donnello Picena, because I had very low cultural values and he brought out my determination, and until in the 8th grade he made me get a small award that had enormous value for me. This is an electromicroscope. I'm asking you because it is also a very current topic, but skills. How important the skills are.
persone che ti stanno vicino, se riescono a trasmetterle, anche tu riesci ad essere
If the people
competente.
close to you manage to transmit the skills, you can be competent in everything that is in the world of work.
Diciamo che, come ti posso dire,
Then,
è
as
anche un
far
dono di
as
natura.
skills are concerned,
Il dono di
let's say
natura
that it is
è
also
quello
a
di,
gift of nature.
secondo me, per dire, la competenza di dire,
In my opinion,
il mercato va
a
male,
competence
d'accordo,
is to
io
say, the market is
investo e
bad,
cerco
okay, I'll invest.
di migliorare la mia azienda ed essere competitivo
I invest and
ancora
try
di
to
più
improve my
e dare un
company
servizio migliore
and be even more
alla nostra
competitive and give
clientela
a better service to our
e
customers
avere
and
anche un
have a
rapporto
better
migliore con i
relationship with
fornitori.
suppliers.
Le faccio,
I'll show you another photo. I'll show you another photo. Your father-in-law.
suo suocero. Dove lo mettiamo dove lo mettiamo in questo puzzle di persone, come dire, che
Where to
non
put
dico un
him in this
sostegno,
puzzle of
un
people who
aiuto,
gave you
un
support,
consiglio,
help,
una
advice,
forza gliel'hanno data?
strength?
Allora, una sera era ancora fidanzato,
One evening, I was
l'attività
still
era
engaged.
giovanissima
The business was very young,
mi dice
and he
oggi com'è
asked me,
andata?
how was the day
Dico,
today?
molto male, perché dico siamo stati a Tolentino, non faccio il nome
I said,
dell'azienda,
very bad,
ma abbiamo
because we were
fatto
in
un lavoro di
Tolentino.
3.000 lire
I
e non
won't
era
mention the name
sufficiente
of the
nemmeno
company now.
per riportare su
We did a
il
job
lavoro
costing
fatto perché
3,000
l'appartamento
lire,
costava.
and it wasn't even
Allora
enough
lui
to
mi
cover the
disse,
work because the transport
io
itself
ho una
costed more.
conoscenza qui in Osimo, dove c'è una mia cugina che ha un'attività che fa trivelle.
Then he told me,
Ci andiamo a parlare,
I
questo
have
non
an
è che qualcosa
acquaintance
poi
here in
fuori.
Osimo, where there is one of
E
my
lì abbiamo
cousins
conosciuto
who has a business
la
that
ditta
makes
maestra di Osimo,
drills.
il primo cliente importante
We go there
della
to
nostra
talk.
attività.
Maybe something comes up. You never
Siamo
know.
cresciuti con loro
And there we met
in
the company
maniera
Might
esponenziale
from
perché hanno
Osimo,
avuto fiducia
the
in
first
noi
important client of our
e
business.
noi abbiamo avuto fiducia in loro
And
su
we
quello che
grew
ci hanno
with
offerto,
them
su quello che ci hanno dato
exponentially
e c'è
because they
una
trusted us
collaborazione
and we
che
trusted
dura
them.
da
And there is
48
a
anni.
collaboration that has already
Sicuramente in questi
lasted for
48
exactly
anni sono
48 years.
subentrati anche altri clienti
Obviously, in
importantissimi
these 48
che
years,
vorrei fare i
other
nomi
very
per
important
rispetto di tutti
clients
quanti,
arrived, and I would like to name
ma
out
oggi
all of them
sono
today.
diventati talmente
But
tanti
today they have become so
che
many that
Li ringraziamo con un applauso.
we thank them with an applause.
Se-
ho- mi sono permesso di citare solamente il primo per un
I
semplice
mentioned
motivo.
only
Primo
the
per
first
rispetto
customer for a
e
simple
secondo perché ci ha
reason,
fatto
respect,
nascere.
and because
E
it
questa
gave
è una cosa che
birth
non
to
va mai
our
dimenticata
business. And this is something that should
per quanto
never be
riguarda
forgotten.
i clienti.
Senta,
That's
ma
all as far as
questa 500
customers
che
are
fine ha fatto?
concerned. Listen, how about
Allora,
500?
questa
What happened
500
to this car?
è una delle tante perché nella vita ne ho
Well,
finite
this
tre.
500 is one of
No, poi
the
mi deve spiegare,
many because
perché
in my
dalla
life
foto, la
I
foto non
have
rende giustizia,
finished 3 of
perché
them.
il sedile accanto al
No,
guidatore non
then you
c'era.
have to
Allora,
explain
la
me because
500
the
questa qui
photo
era nera,
itself
c'era un sedile
doesn't.
solamente,
Why there is no
serviva per
seat
andare da
next
Quadri,
to the
per andare da
driver?
Corresi, andare da Pasquali, era un servizio a 360
Well,
gradi.
there was
Era
only one
l'unico mezzo
seat.
di trasporto
It was
che avevamo,
used to go to
con il fondo
Torresi,
completamente finito.
go to Pasquale.
E quindi
It was
fa parte della nostra
360
storia
degrees service.
e
It
quindi,
was
come
the
posso
only
dire,
mean of
era
transport we
l'inizio,
had,
la
and therefore
crescita.
it is a part of our history.
La gavetta la fanno tutti, come l'ho fatta io, come
How can I
qualsiasi altra
say it was
attività.
the beginning
Ma in
of
questo
growth?
momento, su quella
Everyone
gavetta
pays his
che
dues,
abbiamo fatto tutti,
and so did I.
potrei nominare anche qualche nome di qualche collaboratore che è stato molto importante.
At this point, I could also mention names of some collaborators who were very important for our activity.
Potrei citare un certo
One
Severini
of many
Fabrizio.
of them who is here among us, a retired person, Severini Fabrizio.
Potrei nominare un Giaconi Renato.
I could mention Giaconi Renato.
Potrei nominare un Elisei Michele.
I could mention Elisei Michele.
Questi potrei nominare anche Enea, anche se è
And I
arrivato
could also
dopo.
mention Enea, even
Però
if he arrived later.
Potrei nominare, per quanto riguarda l'ufficio tecnico,
I could mention Fabiani Fabio as far as the technical
Scusi,
office
Presidente,
is concerned.
Se li ricorda tutti i nomi.
But President, do you really remember all the names?
È impossibile.
These guys really gave so much to the business. It's impossible to forget them.
Che ne è di quel ragazzo che adesso stiamo vedendo in
Look,
questa foto?
what
nella
happened
prossima
to that
foto?
boy we are now seeing in this photo, in the next photo?
È un po' sgranata come foto, però
The
è
photo
lei.
quality is not the best,
ok.
but it's you.
Allora, questo qui è un signore che si
It's
chiama
me, yes,
Scolastro
okay.
Maurizio,
So
che
this
fa il
here
primo
is a
cilindro,
gentleman called
uno dei
Scolastra
primi cilindri in
Maurizio,
assoluto,
who makes the first cylinder,
con le
one of the
rimanenze,
first
gli
cylinders
scarti della
ever
cucina,
done with the leftovers and scraps from the workshop, welded pieces mixed together, turned and polished. And this was a cylinder of the dimension 200. I remember as if it was now. Steam 130, made for the Pasquale company in Civitanova. When Enzo Pasquale was still alive, he was there in the alley next to the town hall, where there were the 3 steps, and you went down and the queue reached the square, when you were lucky enough to enter. So this is the first cylinder. I can even tell you the year, and here we are around 1981, 1982. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. We're getting there.
Facciamo un salto
Accounting,
fino al 2006.
it isn't a coincidence, is it? We're getting there. We are in 1980. Let's jump to 2006. So 26 years forward, because there is innovation, the ability to innovate. It's 2006, and the first patent arrives. Yes, how satisfying was it to have this patent certificate? So here we have another important person who was Tescar workshop manager at that time, Ivo Venigni, present here in this room.
modificando una morsa.
He was modifying a vise for a company from Spain. I said to Ivo, Ivo, why don't you let me do it? If it works, you pay for it. If it doesn't work, you don't pay for it. And he said, if you have this idea, why not? And so we made the first vise. Having made the first vise immediately after the product went to Spain, the first order of 10 pieces of vises arrived from Tescar. I hadn't ever seen in my life before. Since that idea worked, we patented it and started going for the first furs.
Perché l'altra caratteristica certamente di Scolastra, ma delle aziende, soprattutto delle aziende familiari, è la capacità di
Could you please wait for a second? I'll be right here. Another characteristic, certainly of Scolastra, but also of other family companies, especially family businesses, is the ability to give back to the territory, to try to give well-being to the territory, to contribute to the growth of the territory.
trofei nazionali e
And
internazionali.
Sgolastra, among various activities, is supporting the wheelchair basketball team of Santo Stefano Sport of Potenza Picena. They are full of national and international trophies.
Grazie
The
Don.
priest is about to leave us.
Grazie Don.
This is our guest. Thank you.
Vi presento un ospite, lui è un tiratore da
He is
fuori,
an
ha
outside
vestito la maglia
player.
della nazionale
He
italiana
wore
e
the shirt
soprattutto
of the
gioca al Santo
Italian
Stefano,
national
squadra con la
team,
quale ha
and
vinto in
above
10
all,
stagioni
he plays
uno
for
scudetto,
Santo
2 Coppe
Stefano,
Italia, una
a
Supercoppa
team
italiana e
with
una
which he
Eurocup.
won in
Vi chiedo un
10
applauso
seasons,
per Andrea
a championship, 2 Italian Cups, an Italian Super Cup, and a Euro Cup. I am asking for an applause for Andrea Giarretti.
Le vogliamo far vedere queste coppe a tutti? Facciamole vedere queste coppe a tutti. Eccole.
Do we want to
Eccole
show
qua.
these cups to everyone?
Andrea, tu sei di Genova Pegli.
Buon pomeriggio a tutti, grazie
Here we
per
are.
l'invito.
Andrea, you come from Genova.
Sei da 10 anni
Good
qui?
afternoon to everyone.
Come si sta?
Thank you for the
Molto
invitation.
bene, nel senso che mi sono trasferito qua 10 anni fa per
I
lavoro di
arrived
questo
here
sport.
to have a different
Il
experience,
primo anno
to
sono arrivato
play
appunto per fare
in Serie
un'esperienza
A
diversa, per giocare in
with
Serie
the
A con la
Santo
squadra del
Stefano
Santo
team,
Stefano, una squadra
a
vincente
winning
ormai da tanti
team
anni.
for
Dopo
many
neanche
years
un
now.
anno ho conosciuto Grazia.
After
che
less
da
than a
2 anni è
year,
diventata anche mia
I met
moglie,
Grazia.
quindi
2 years ago,
oltre
she
all'amore
became
per lo
my
sport
wife.
c'è anche
I moved
appunto
here because
l'amore
of
per
the
lei e per
love
questa
for
regione
sport,
che mi ha dato
the love
tanto
for her,
e
and
sicuramente mi
also
sono
for this
trasferito per prima
region
cosa perché
that
arrivando
has
dalla
given me
Liguria
so much.
volevo
Coming
stare
from
vicino al mare.
Liguria, I wanted to be
Se c'è
near
il
the
mare è
sea.
perfetto.
So, since there is the sea,
Fate,
it is
potete
perfect.
applaudire, ci mancherebbe.
Do it. Go ahead. You can applause.
Il Don è andato via, quindi non ci ascolta.
The priest's
Adesso si può dire.
away,
Come si sta da queste
so he
parti?
can't
Va via.
hear us. Now, can I say how is it living here?
Oh, quest'anno non è andata benissimo, o meglio,
It's great here.
la
Oh,
squadra è arrivata
this year didn't go very well,
alla finale
or
per
better.
l'assegnazione dello
The
scudetto.
team reached the final. I played in the final to win the championship against Cantu, which is a strong and well-prepared team. What did you miss? There was certainly a lack of coldness or experience, because technically we were on the same level. However, in the final, being point to point, plays better who stays calm and cold. That's what was missing. Certainly not a very good year as well as the Italian camp and the Italian national team are concerned, because we lost. Won 3 matches at the Europa League and sorry in the recovery round for Paris. Lost 1 match and did not qualify in the Paralympic Games, so not a very good summer. I preferred not to, but it's fine. We enjoy the summer, the sea. Thinking about next season, which will be our 11th season with this shirt. Exact. What are the perspectives, the goals? Look, they say participating is the most important thing. Yes, but I'm the one who always wants to win. So the goal is to replicate the last season and win everything. We clearly hope there are the rivals, but we are a team and the team will be ready. Well, I know you brought a surprise for President Acquaroli. Come here, President. Come. We have it. Here you are.
Presidente, questa la prendo io e poi
There are
gliela
photographers on
restituiamo.
that side.
E per
Thank
Ettore
you.
e la famiglia Sgolastra.
Thank you, President. I'll take this and then we'll give it back to Ettore. It
Eccola
is
qui.
for the Sgolastra family. Here it is.
Grazie Andrea, grazie, in bocca al lupo alla
Thank you,
squadra
Andrea.
e
Thank
tanta
you. Good
fortuna.
luck.
Grazie.
Good luck to the
Grazie.
team. Thank you. Thank you.
Presidente, torniamo un attimo indietro, dal 2006 al 2004. Okay?
President, let's go back for a
Nel
moment to
2004 l'azienda è
2006.
già abbastanza consolidata.
2004,
Ha
okay?
radici, ha
In
storia,
2004, the
e
company
lei
is
si
already
guarda
quite
intorno
consolidated.
e forse
It
pensa che
has
ha
its
bisogno di una mano, che
roots
ha
and
bisogno di
history.
aiuto,
And you
che ha
start
bisogno
looking
di un
around and
collaboratore
perhaps thinking
fidato, ma
that
più
you may
fidato
need
degli
some
altri.
help, that
E
you
mi
may
sembra
need
che
a trusted
quell'anno lei ha
collaborator,
fatto una domanda
but more
semplicissima,
trusted than the
semplicissima,
others.
ogni tanto le fanno anche
It
a me le
seems
stesse
to me
domande.
that
Dice, ti va di darmi una mano?
that year you asked a very
È una domanda
simple
che il
question.
padre fa
Would you
al
like to
figlio,
help me?
che
It's a
Maurizio
question
fa
that a
a
father
Ettore
makes to his
Sgolastra.
son, that Maurizio made to Ettore Sgolastra.
Ciao a tutti. A chi non ho salutato un grandissimo abbraccio.
Hello everyone. To those who I haven't greeted yet, a huge hug and I love you with all my heart. Let's hope it's a nice day today to celebrate this occasion to the end.
Quando il babbo chiama, il figlio risponde.
When the father asks, does the son reply?
Tu
Yes,
all'epoca
I hope I
facevi
answered well.
ingegneria meccanica.
You, at
La
that
scuola
time,
che tipo di
you were
scelta è
doing
stata? È stata una
mechanical
scelta
engineering
complicata.
at the time. Yes. So, leaving the school, what kind of choice was it? Was it a complicated choice? Very complicated. However, I had to make a choice that was essential for learning the job immediately and allowed me to get involved as soon as possible. Let's pretend he's not here. What was your first pay?
Dovrei fare una premessa prima. Io da quando ero piccolo,
So I should make an introduction first. Since I was a little boy, from 12 years old, let's say to 14, I came during the summer period to work here in the company, and I dedicated myself to working in front of cutters, drills, learning the first elements of this job. And then, at the end of summer, the salary arrived. Thanks to my mother and my father, who gave me the basis of the company's values, such as sacrifice, passion, dedication. When I joined the company in 2004, it was almost normal for me to make a minimum effort to gain experience. I considered the initial period in the technical office as if it had been an investment for me, for the future. What did you have to learn quickly?
Nell'ufficio tecnico ho dovuto approgettare un cilindro aerodinamico.
Well, entering in the technical office, I had to, let's say, learn quickly how to project a dynamic cylinder and therefore learn the basic technical knowledge on how to build the thickness of the caseback, the safety coefficient that a dynamic cylinder must have, obviously subjected to peak load, and so on. I made this knowledge mine immediately. It became my treasure. Thanks also my very valid colleague Fabio Fabiani, who helped me with this until I became technical manager in 2015. Technical manager in 2015. So the customers were no more asking for Maurizio. They were asking for Ettore. Yes, it happens because the customers usually wants to talk to the person who makes the design. Since I began to do my first designs, I took my first responsibilities. I began to understand the different uses of these cylinders, where they were applied, if it was a full-down cylinder, an arm stick cylinder, overturning, pulling. So I began to give my first advices and I took my first
Più
responsibilities.
piacere o più
President,
dispiacere
it was
rispetto al
more a
fatto
pleasure or more a displeasure, the fact that they then were asking for Ettore.
sinceramente.
La continuità è la più grossa soddisfazione che può
To
avere
be
un
honest, the continuity is the greatest satisfaction a father can have.
quando uno dà tanto nella vita,
The continuity when life goes on is when you see that what you had given is carried on, also with sacrifice, currently by both. For a parent, it is something that has no value, has no comparison, has no examples. Only a parent can prove it. Ettore, anyway, hydraulic cylinders, but now,
Ma
not only now, for a few years already, with your own brand.
è una svolta.
Is it a turning point? Yes, as my father had mentioned before, we practically made our own products, like the so-called unscrewing road vise that we were talking about before, which was a challenge. We accepted this challenge that we had to win on the market, which meant taking this product and improving it, make it unique. And we have practically overturned it also as far as the design of the vise is concerned. Our competitor's vise, let's say, was a mass of welded carpentry, and the maintenance could not be carried out. Therefore, once some parts were out, the vise was thrown away. But today, since the plates have been molded and milled, if a piece breaks, today it can be replaced. We have also improved the vise in the plate stations, meaning that when these parts wear out, they can be pulled away very easily. But the gem, which then became a patent, was to put a double guide on the vise, which means when the vise rotates, it is perfectly guided from two sides, both. Putting the upper guide, we patented this system. It was discovered as a unique innovation. What happened then was that our competitors were selling the vices at a lower prices, but our vise was a superior product, even though its price was higher, but there was quality. In order to understand what evolution and innovation mean for Sgolastra, we'll get help from this video.
Qualche giorno fa, in un'intervista al Sole 24 Ore,
A few days ago, in Sole 24 Ore interview, the owner of TOTS spoke about handicraft intelligence, which seems to be very relevant to the story we are telling about this company. A company that certainly uses their hands, their heads, but also makes a big use of machinery, latest generation machinery. This is a 4.0 company. So help us a little bit to understand how this transition from a manual handling to the latest generation machines is still able to consider hands as an important element. Well, innovation and evolution have always attracted me, awaked curiosity in me. Therefore, they became an essential point for the growth of our company. So since 2015, I have tried to change the production chain a bit. The way how the raw piece that comes to us from our suppliers was transformed and processed. First, I started to take an inventory of everything we had in the company. I counted I don't know how many pieces, maybe 33 or 35,000. I don't know how many, because we had too many of them, which were then spread over so many structures. Then, in a second place, we identified each product with bills, with cycles, phases, and the trick was to label the product that arrives from the supplier, naming it with an ODL code, which means the work order. This ODL contains practically all the essential data of the item that needs to be processed. That is how many pieces we have to produce, the internal order, the customer's order, the delivery date that must be carried out, within which the process must be finished. And then we integrated each machine with a tablet, with a specific message. So when the operator starts working the piece, it is recorded by a management system, and we can trace any processing that has been carried out. Now let's help ourselves with some slides. If it works, I don't know, yes. If we don't move it, we'll move him forward. Here it is. Here, as I told you before, as the supplier has been informed to prepare the goods that we ordered, and he sends us the already cut pieces. They are placed in an iron basket where the label I was talking about before must be included on the outside, where there is our ODL rep. Then comes the operator. As I was saying, he uses the tablet and the 4.0 machinery. So here he goes through all the various steps that have to be done. First, obviously, he has to log in via this screen, and once he decides to carry on the particular article, he shoots practically scanning the barcode, and let's say the working process opens. When the working process opens, it starts with preparing the machinery, and he goes on with the various phases like turning or milling. So the operator practically begins to indicate when he has started the working process, and let's say the countdown starts in order to know how many pieces in how much time have been finished. He indicates also if there has been any waste or not. Then, let's say feedback is sent to the operator, who works in the vertical warehouse present here with us. We have 6 of them. The operator comes to collect the semi-finished products that either come from turning or milling, and they are stored in our modular warehouse. This obviously is traced both by the message, which is practically all the operations that the operator does on board the machine, and by the 4.0 machines. This system allows us to congruent and truthful comparison of each processing phase. How many products do you have in your catalog? Let's see. In the catalog we have more than 10 vices. We have machinery for injection grout cement, we have revolving heads used for drilling and spindle, so not just cylinders. The cylinder gave us birth. We grew up with the hydraulic cylinder, but having been in the metalworking sector for almost 50 years, we also experimented with other items needed in building sites. What is the market? Italy, certainly. Italy and above all abroad, because we are lucky to work with a company near us in Osimo. But this company then works indirectly for foreign countries. Can we use a video to see Sgolastra products? Yes. Yes, it must be done.
Sì, va fate. Presidente, quale parola o aggettivo?
President, which word or which adjective? With which word or adjective could you describe Ettore? Me to describe Ettore? An adjective?
Lo ha detto, eh?
Fabulous. Fabulous. I said it. Yeah, fabulous. Thank you. And was in an adjective for your daughter, Sabrina? Wonderful.
Eccola qua.
Wonderful.
Sabrina Sgolastra.
Here she is, Sabrina Sgolastra.
Sabrina,
Sgolastra Sabrina. Yes, present. I understood well. I'm wonderful, wonderful. But now they call you the rebel. Yes, why? Well, because when I had to make important decisions in my life, sometimes I disappointed my parents' expectations. Why? Excuse me. Why, in fact, when you make a decision, you do it and you defend it at all costs? Exactly. They wanted me to do accounting, for obviously reasons, because they grew up in an environment where there was no other possibility than working in a family business. There's no doubt about it. It is a privilege, absolutely yes, it's a privilege. But I wanted to proceed on my own way. I wanted to become a teacher. I was good at maths and therefore I chose the scientific high school. So here we come. She's wonderful. He? Stubborn. Because when he has some idea in his head, he doesn't hear any reason. It's a privilege, it's an advantage, because in life, when you put your foot down and reach the goal, you are a winner. Otherwise, you are a loser. But, well, stubborn means many other things. But the stubborn's daughter isn't bad at all, because she studied languages. Yes, right? Do you have an extraordinary passion for languages? Yes. And then, And then my father says, now she has finished university, she didn't even study economics. Now it is high time for her to come to work with us, right? But no, I was contacted by other companies to work in a foreign office and I agreed to start my work experience in a paint company. No, now you have to explain to me. Yes. Shakespeare and paints, it is a bit like a peach tree and the paints. They don't stay well together, like cabbage for a snack. Oh, here it is. Well, at the beginning, Shakespeare and Pains didn't get along very well, because when the phone rang, I was afraid of not being able to understand who was talking to me on the other end. Because I was used to it, I had a literary background and there wasn't any literature in that work. But literature was useful as a basis, as a springboard, so that then I was improving myself every day. Because when you talk to foreign clients, not only you enrich yourself personally, but you always learn something more about your work. And you learn a new term that perhaps you didn't even know existed in Italian, but you learn it first in a foreign language. Then you understand what it means in Italian. And above all, you know different ways of doing things, different cultures, and you are comparing yourself with countries that have nothing to do with our Italian way of thinking. And this, let's say, policy that I used abroad was not even easy to make the collaborators understand. Because when you talk about the speed with foreign countries, you have to consider that it takes from 30 to 40 days for a container to reach the destination. And therefore, making the colleagues understand the foreign customer's priority was not easy. What happens in 2016? In 2016, for a variety of reasons, I joined the Scholastra company. And what was the driving force? The driving force was, above all, a choice regarding the family organization, because thanks to the family business, I was able to carry on both my profession and at the same time dedicate my time, my personal time, also to the family. I couldn't do this before. Now my family time is always less and less. But let's say that at the beginning I was welcomed with open arms, both obviously by my father and my mother and also by my brother. He was never a rival. He was always very helpful. He has given me everything he could, and not only my father and my mother, but also my brother, and I find him irreplaceable on a working level. We have a beautiful relationship, and I think we hope to maintain this. Perhaps you have understood, I deal with commercial relations with foreign countries, both with the European Union and with countries outside the European Union. Foreign customers really appreciate our service, our products, and even one of the main American customers apologized the other day for not being able to come to this important day for us. He told me, don't worry, because Scholastra is a milestone, which is a milestone in cylinders and drilling accessories business, filling the estimate and all the good vibrations that exist. On the other side of the world is truly like touching the sky with your finger.
Presidente, io credo nel raccontare spesso di aziende che impropriamente
President, I believe that often talking about companies, we use improperly generational transfer term. It's like if there was a compulsion, the father who must pass the company and important company's positions to his children. Instead, you spoke about business continuity, and it is a substantial difference. In 2022, in fact, 2 years ago, you guaranteed this process of business continuity and put pen to paper. It's true, and I didn't even notice this transition process because it was something so spontaneous.
Che ci ha dato una grandissima mano
And proposed by our consultant Laura, who helped us a lot in our growth. She was able to give us excellent advice and helped us in the continuity of the company. And I also take the opportunity because earlier I forgot an important person in our business, Stefano Foresi.
Dov'è? Eccolo.
Where? There he is.
Perché lui è veramente cresciuto con noi. Venivamo giù insieme con
Because he really grew up with us. He came down together with the famous 500 car without a seat from Montelupone here to the company. He learned the first concepts inside our workshop and he became a right hand in our business. And he's still giving a helpful hand.
Vorrei raccontare un particolare.
I would like to tell you a detail that maybe will break the tight atmosphere for a moment. There's a bit of tension, both from our side and maybe also on your side. Well, we were usual before coming to work to stop at the bar in Montelupone and play a game of cards with friends, which lasted like 5 minutes. Who lost paid for the coffee. And Stefano Foresi sat next to the table and ate the Magnum ice cream, which was the one you had to massage to remove the protection on the top. It was Samsung, the one you had to remove the plastic cap on top. It was a short, thick ice cream. One day, he didn't have time to finish the ice cream. He was sitting in the back of the 500 car as we were coming up, so he had no protection in front to be able to eat the ice cream in peace. So I looked at him in the mirror and I said, now when he goes up to the ice cream, I'll show him a small breaking. I'll make him eat the ice cream altogether at once. And it never happened again, this ice cream that he wasn't able to eat in peace. I stand up for a moment, President, because so I believe that for a son and for a daughter, working within the family business is a great responsibility. In fact, we also heard it said by themselves. And how about wife? How is it working in a family business? I'll ask Mrs. Nazzarella.
Ho fatto il saluto a mio figlio perché
I said
dice
hello
che
to my son because he says to me, I
sono
know,
preparato, sono preparato.
I know, I'm prepared, I'm prepared.
Scusi, ma
Sorry,
lei nel
but you
2018
shouldn't have retired in
E
2018.
che ci fa
Yes, I did.
e lui pure è in
And
pensione.
what
Ma
are
lei
you
che
still
cosa ci
doing
fa?
in the company? He
Faccio
is
quello che ho
retired
fatto
too.
sempre.
But what
Cioè
are you
tiene tutto
doing?
sotto controllo?
I'm
Io
doing what
sono il
I've always
capitano.
done. That is, I keep everything under control. I'm the captain.
Quindi lei mi sta dicendo che
So
l'ultima
you're
parola
telling
sugli
me that the
investimenti
last
che siamo
word
andati oggi a
regarding the
inaugurare, gli uffici,
investments,
l'azienda,
the
l'ultima parola l'ha data
offices, the
lei.
company
No,
we
io
are
sto a
celebrating
pagare e
today,
basta.
you gave the last
È
word?
sicura?
No, I'm just paying. Are you sure?
Senti,
Yes.
quando Sgolastra è diventata
Look,
un'azienda
when
solida,
Sgolastra became a
autonoma,
solid,
molti clienti
autonomous
l'hanno
company,
seguita.
many customers
Che
followed
cos'è
it.
per lei la
What is
fedeltà, la
loyalty
fiducia?
and trust for you?
Io è parecchio tempo che
It's been a
diciamo non
long
rispondo al
time.
telefono
I
perché
don't
il mio
answer
compito
the
è
phone
davanti ai
anymore
ragazzi.
because I have
Io
my job
veramente
and
prima, quando
there's
ero
the
io e
other
lui
girl
in ufficio c'ero
to
solo io.
do that now.
Quindi
Actually,
rispondevo al
before,
telefono, passavo le
there were
telefonate,
only
facevo
two
le
of
pulizie,
them,
facevo la partita
me and
doppia.
him.
Per me era un
Then I
caos,
was
però
alone in the
andare al
office.
lavoro dopo
So
che
I
ho
answered
avuto
the
delle
phones, I
malattie
passed the
importanti,
calls,
a me mi ha
I
dato
made
la
the
vita.
delivery notes,
Quindi
I
non sto
did
a casa,
double
io sto
entry.
qui e basta.
For me, it was a chaos. But going on to work after I had some serious
Signora,
illnesses, it
le
makes me
faccio
feel
vedere una foto.
alive.
Conosce
So I
questo
don't
signore
stay at
qui?
home, I just come
Non le
here.
dice niente?
Non lo
I'll show you a
conosco.
photo.
È sicura di non
Do you know this
conoscerlo?
gentleman here?
Ah.
Doesn't it tell you anything?
Vicentini,
I don't know him.
mannaggia a te.
Are you sure
No,
you don't know him?
intanto vediamo la
Ah,
questa
Vincentini,
successiva che
damn
allora,
you.
Bruno
Meanwhile,
Vincentini,
let's see the photo.
ministro
This next one. This is
Dell'economia
Bruno
che ci ha
Vincentini,
dato
the
la
Minister
che ha
of
imparato,
Economics,
come dire,
of Economics
disposto
and
la
Finances,
partita doppia. Possiamo andare alla
who
slide
introduced
successiva.
a double
Che cos'è
entry.
questa
We
bella
can go
partita
to the
doppia
next
della quale
slide.
lei è una delle più
There exactly.
importanti specialiste a livello
What is
nazionale?
this
Allora, io ho
beautiful double
iniziato la
entry?
partita doppia
You
su
are
carta
one of the
carbone.
most important specialists
Facevo le
of it
registrazioni,
at
se
the
mi
national
sbagliavo
level. So,
non si
I
poteva far
started the
nulla.
double entry on
Addirittura
carbon
tenevamo
paper.
delle
I
cartelline
did
dei
the
fornitori e
recordings.
clienti.
If I was wrong,
Imponibile IVA,
nothing
a
could
volte
be
stavo a
done.
mezzanotte a casa
We
a
even
trovare
kept taxable
una
supplier
lira
and
che non mi
customer
bastava perché
records.
si faceva a
Sometimes I
mano,
was at
tutto,
home at
IVA a
midnight
mano,
trying to
registrazioni a
find
mano.
one
Poi c'è
lira
stata
because the
l'evoluzione,
bills
abbiamo
didn't
dovuto
match,
imparare. Io
because
scuola ne
it
ho
was
fatta
all
poca,
made
però
manually.
la praticità ce l'ho.
Everything. VAT
Senta,
manually,
lei come
registrations
mamma, prima
manually.
ancora che come lavoratrice,
Then there was the
ha
evolution,
affrontato
and we
con
had to learn.
coraggio delle
I
situazioni
didn't do
familiari
much
molto delicate.
school,
Io non voglio
but I
entrare
have
in alcun
practically.
modo nei
Look,
dettagli, ma le
you
chiedo
as a mother and as a
che cosa si fa
worker
fuori
bravely faced very
qual è
delicate
l'insegnamento?
family situations. I don't want to get into any details, but I'm asking you, where do you find strength to face these moments? What is the lesson? My husband.
Io su tutti i
I,
periodi negativi che
the
ho
biggest
avuto,
negative period I had
il primo più
was
grande è
Ettore,
stato
who had an accident.
Ettore, che ha avuto un incidente.
Non
We
entriamo
don't
nei
get into
dettagli, non entriamo nei
details.
dettagli.
My
Mio
husband
marito
told
mi
me,
diceva,
keep going,
la forza
let's
ci
hold
teniamo
our
per
hands.
mano, ci
We fall
addormentiamo per
asleep
mano
holding our
e
hands,
domani
and
la Madonna
tomorrow
ci aiuta.
Madonna will help us.
Presidente, qual è il
President,
maggior pregio di questa donna?
what is this woman's greatest quality?
Allora, adesso è facile, no? Dire delle belle
Well,
parole.
now it's easy to say nice words,
Però il maggior
but
pregio di mia
Nazzarella's
sorella
greatest quality
è la
is
sua
her
costanza.
consistency. Her consistency in following the family, the business, following everyone a bit.
lascia mai solo.
She never leaves you
Dica la
alone.
verità, è
Tell
stata
us
lei
the
a dire
truth.
sì, questo investimento si può fare.
Was
Lo
it
dica.
she who said yes for the investments that have been made? Just say it.
Fatto degli investimenti.
Well, usually she's quite negative about investments, but after all, after a few days of thinking,
Tutti quanti insieme,
yes, of
piano
course,
piano, si convince.
all of us slowly convince her and we make the investments. But the most important thing is when she tells you, look, we are now at this level here, making this investment here, immediately we go to this level. Why don't? Nothing. He doesn't even know if we have money
E lei paga?
or if there isn't any. He spends.
I nuovi
And who
spazi,
pays?
scherzi a parte, i nuovi
And I
spazi
pay.
necessari.
Ettore,
Bisognava stare
the
un po'
new
più là.
spaces, all kidding aside, the new spaces were necessary. We needed to stay a little larger. Absolutely yes, my friends. In fact, thanks to this warehouse, we have installed 6 vertical warehouses which help a lot, both in tracking the products and allowing us to avoid wasting time. Then we hired other human resources, which nowadays are the most important resources. It is not the machinery that one buys, but the human resources that count, which is not easily at all to find today. We always hire persons, we train them, we make them grow, hoping that they will stay as long as possible together with us. So in a few minutes, we and in a few minutes you too will have the possibility to visit the company. Who wants to do it? Accompanied by the Scholastra staff. Those who don't want to can start going to the garden and have a welcome aperitif, but in the meantime we can see this new area in a video.
Presidente, chi è il collaboratore che ad oggi ha la
President, who is the employee who has the maximum seniority, who has been in the company the longest? You remember all the names of the employees.
È Michele Elisei. Michele Elisei, subito dopo Giaconi Renato.
It is Michele Elisei,
Poi c'è Bucco.
immediately after Giacconi Renato. Then there's Bucco. Where is Michele Elisei? Where? Here he is, Michele Elisei. Here we are. Good evening, everyone.
Eccoci qua. Buonasera a tutti. Niente.
So che lei è abituato col microfono, quindi
You
non
are
mi
used
preoccupo
to the
assolutamente.
microphone, so I don't worry at all. No, absolutely not. They voted that they had to do this thing.
Vai capitano.
Allora, carissima
Go, Captain.
famiglia Scolastra.
So, dearest Scholastra family, during this celebration, it is with a great pleasure and honor that we want to express some brief thoughts on our reality and the meaning it has for us. First of all, we want to thank you for a wonderful evening. Scholastra, a company with roots in a distant past. It has grown over time thanks to attention to the present, but always looking attentively to the future. It is a reality where tradition mixes with innovation. Continuous investments in machinery and technologies allow us to be in line with the needs of a complex and constantly evolving market through increasing careful procedures. Maurizio's authority, Nazzarella's spontaneity, Sabrina's kindness, and Ettores' availability always make us feel at home, at our home, breathing in a peaceful atmosphere. We know well that all of this is rare commodity nowadays. We feel somehow privileged working with you, because here people have value and are respected in their entirety. The nice thing is that everything I've just said is not rhetoric or phrases of circumstance, but rather the reflection of the days we live in your company, but also in our company. A sincere thank you from all your employees, proud to be so. Thank you. Thanks for everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Che cos'è? Al microfono, aiutami Ettore per
What
favore.
is it? This is a gift. Help me, Ettore, please. This is a gift from us that I hope you will always keep with pleasure. Let's open it. Yes, we have time to do it.
Vediamo di cosa si tratta.
Let's see what's about. President, while Ettore opens the gift, today your collaborators are present here with their families, with their children. What do you feel like saying to them? Well, such attention deserves me to stand up as a sign of respect for them. What I have seeded in 48 years with many of you, the promises I have made, and I hope I kept most of them. This evening we are reaping the fruits, and it is the mutual respect that we are living. My family is too small to embrace such a great treasure like respect you have for us. So I have no words to thank you for demonstrating what I have seeded, also carried forward by my children and Nazzarella. At the end, I can hardly find the right words. I want to say thank you once again because you accepted what we gave you. In order to grow together, to always preserve your jobs and to keep the morale high in the company, don't be afraid of anything, even if it's a very delicate period right now. We are demonstrating this with the investments we are making. We give the impression of not being afraid, but we are very afraid instead, because the world is so unstable, but despite that, we believe in it and move forward with all our strength, and above all, your strength. Thank you once again. I'll read to you what is written on the parchment, which has a sentence by Sense Gorgi on its head. Innovation is seeing everything and seeing what everyone has already seen and thinking what no one has thought about yet. And then a sentence. In all these years, The business has changed, transformed and grown. Keep the past experiences as a treasure in order to live this new adventure for the success
Io
and
vorrei
growth
chiudere
of your company.
con un'immagine, perché poi alla fine
I
stasera abbiamo
would like
parlato
to
di
conclude with
famiglie
a
e di
picture
famiglie.
because
Quindi io
at the
chiedo
end
a tutta la famiglia
this
Scolastra
evening we
di
talked
raggiungerci
about
qui
family,
sul palco
families
per
and
chiudere
families.
questa
So I
serata,
ask the whole
per
Scholastra family to
uno
join
scatto
us
fotografico tutti
here on the
quanti
stage
insieme da
to conclude this
consegnare
evening
alla
with a
comunità.
photo shoot all together,
Ok? Ci siamo?
to be
Coraggio, ci
given
siamo tutti.
then to the community.
Avanti, avanti, avanti,
We are
venite
here,
avanti
come
rispetto
on.
alle sedie.
We are all here.
Gli
Come
junior
forward, come forward,
davanti.
come forward in front of the chairs.
Molto bene.
Juniors in
Signori,
front.
la
Very
famiglia
good, gentlemen.
Scolastra.
The Scholastra family. Thank you.
Presidente, chiude lei? Padrone di casa.
President, would you like to conclude?
Chiudere con un abbraccio
You are the
simbolico
host
perché
here. I wanted to conclude with a symbolic hug to Michele, because Michele takes a bit of everything, right? Stop there, right? Don't add anything else. Maurizio, let's not reveal our secrets. So the hug I give to Michele is for all of you, especially for
Grazie.
our collaborators.
Grazie a
Thank
tutti
you.
per essere stati
Thank you
qui.
all for being
Grazie
here.
Presidente Acquaroli, grazie
Thank you,
Sindaco.
President Acquaroli.
Grazie a
Thank you,
tutti coloro che
Major.
hanno partecipato.
Thanks to
Allora,
everyone who
chi
participated.
ha voglia fa il
Now,
giro
those
in
who want
azienda.
to visit the
Chi invece
company,
vuole
those who
avvantaggiarsi
want to go
in giardino
directly
per
to the
l'aperitivo,
garden
la
for an
serata
aperitif,
continua. Grazie a
the
tutti, a
evening
dopo.
continues. Thanks to everyone. See you later.